Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Keisha with Isaac Creations. On my channel, I am sharing with you my sewing journey. So in today's video, I am going to talk about my process of getting this cardigan done as a part of my Make 9 challenge for the year for 2024. This is my second project. I'm happy to have it done. So if you want to hear about the process for making this, continue watching. As I recorded and edited this video, I noticed that as my cardigan is hanging, it looks as if one sleeve is shorter than the other. I promise you that is not the case. It's the way it was hanging on the hanger as I did my recording. So here is a better view of what those sleeves look like. Thank you for coming back or sticking around. If you are a first-time viewer, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel. If you are a returning subscriber or returning viewer, I want to also thank you for stopping by my channel and watching today's video. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting on? Please go ahead and like this video and consider subscribing so that you will be able to get all my notifications when I post new content about my sewing journey. So, as I said, I wanted to go ahead and give you guys some inside deets on what it took for me to make this particular cardigan here. It was actually a McCall's pattern, McCall's 6802. I'll put it here. And I did view D, this view here. It came together fairly easy. I did have a couple of things I want to talk about later in the video that I had a bit of a challenge with. As always, there's always a challenge somewhere along the line, but that's all right because I'm getting more comfortable with sewing, and as I'm learning, I do expect that there will be challenges along the way, and I'll share those with you in a little bit. So just to get into some of the pattern details about this pattern, again, it is an easy to make pattern. I'm saying it's easy, but McCall's also has it labeled as easy, and I do agree this was a very easy project to make. Pattern details. So I did view D. View D only called for 3 pattern pieces. The front, which was pattern piece 1, the back pattern piece 2, the front band pattern piece 7. Now I said 3, but you did have to cut the front twice, but that was pattern piece number 1. And there was a 5/8 inch seam allowance which I used to make this cardigan, and for the most part it was only 7 steps in total. I did not put a pocket on here, though I think I did have an option to do that. I haven't done pockets yet, so I did not add a pocket. I just did the view here, which is view D, with the collar here that kind of flares out some. So on to the machine details. I did zigzag stitch, which is stitch number 4 on my machine. The stitch length was 2.5. The width was a 1. I used my regular presser foot. I did use a 7511 sewing needle, and I did test my fabric first. I tested only the orange first to make sure it would work, but I also did test this tan fabric here to make sure that it worked properly in my machine. And the tension for the orange was a 2 on my machine because it is a little finer than this fabric here, and the tension for this fabric here was a 4 on my machine. All right, so I told you guys that I did have some challenges. I had 2, and the first was in my previous video. I think I told you all that I ran out of fabric to continue cutting my pattern pieces for my collar here. So I ran out of fabric, and I had to find something that was complementary to this burnt orange, the same type sweater knit, similar weight, complementary color. And I actually was blessed to go into Joann Fabric, and I found this one bolt of what looked to be a sweater knit, the only one I saw that I thought would go perfect with this cardigan. So I did end up purchasing I think 1.5 yards of this tan color here to complement the burnt orange, and I think it turned out really nice in terms of how the colors go together. Even the weight of the fabrics are pretty complementary one to another. So I would say, if you did this pattern, make sure that if you do this particular view, make sure that you do have your fabric width at least 60 inches. Mine was not 60 inches. That's why I ran out of fabric. So that's really, really important. Have at least 60 inches so you're able to use the same fabric for both your front, back, and your collar. All right, so the second challenge, oh my gosh, I was like blown away by this. All right, so you probably would not even know from looking at it, because I think it turned out really, really good. So the front here, this should have been 2 pieces, left and right. When I cut my front, I cut 1 piece on the fold. Don't ask me how that happened. I don't even remember what I was thinking. Maybe it was one of the nights that my daughter was in here, we were talking, I don't know. But the girl didn't realize what I had done until I tried to pin this garment at the shoulders, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not even a cardigan, this is a sweater. A sweater. So I had to make a choice. Make this into a sweater, which probably would have been nice. I would have had to improvise with the collar here and done something, or continue making this into a cardigan. I chose the latter because I really want to stick to my sewing plans and my Make 9 challenge. So I went ahead and made the front piece into a 2-sided cardigan. So what I did was I just took the 1 piece, folded down the middle or divided in half. Once I did that, I had some overlap. Because of the way it was cut, there was overlap. So I took a couple of inches off each side, and that gave me the gap I needed to be able to place my collar in this cardigan. Hope that made sense. So just imagine 1 piece split in half, a couple of inches off each side, and I have the gap I need for the collar. I do think when I took off 2 inches, it may have been a little bit too much, because when I put this on, I can kind of see where I would have probably wanted a little bit more spacing around here, like have this orange come over just a little bit more, but this flowy collar here makes up for that, and you'll kind of see when I show you pictures at the very end of me wearing this out. So yeah, that was the second challenge, just not paying attention and cutting the 1 piece on the fold. So just remember, if you're gonna make this, make sure that you have your 60-inch wide at least fabric, and make sure that you pay attention and cut to a pattern piece number 1, which is the front. So yeah, those were the only challenges I had, but I was able to conquer them both, and I would say that I think this turned out really, really nicely. I am very pleased with how this this cardigan turned out. All right, are there any next steps to making this pattern piece or this pattern? I would say no, really. I made note of the challenges. I know now in the future, 60 inches, I'll pay closer attention to cutting out the fabric pieces. I would say no. I would say no. There are no next steps. I mean, nothing I would do differently. I think this looks really good. I would definitely make it again, probably closer to next winter and fall, because I'm kind of getting away from thinking about wanting to sew things for the winter. I'm starting to feel like I want to start sewing for the spring. So this will probably be my very last garment make for the fall or winter. So yeah, that is it for this pattern review. I do have some pictures at the very end, and I want you to stick around and look at so you can see how this fits. And I do hope that if you are looking for a very easy cardigan that you can do, that only requires 3 pattern pieces, really simple, you will consider this McCall's pattern. Came together very nice for me. I do want to again thank you all for sticking around and supporting my channel. If you have not yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so below so that you're able to get all the notifications when I post new content for you to take a look at, and for us to communicate and chat about what we're doing in our sewing and crafting space. So thank you for watching. Until we come together again, God bless.